Hey everybody, it's Amanda. It's that time again. It is officially going to be July. I cannot believe it. Crazy to think that this year is almost over. I'm almost kind of like, please let it end. The suffering has been hard. So, if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Amanda. I am 36 years old. I live in the state of Oregon, and I'm on a low income. Now, I get a lot of questions about this bill payment tracker book. You can find this on Amazon. They got so many different types of these, but this one particularly, all you have to do is put in bill payment tracker, monthly bill payment tracker list, and it will come up. I myself have been using this since February. So we have February, March, April, May, June, and now we're on to July. I have decided not to use this front and back because the only thing that I do is I highlight and it does go through. So let's talk about all of the bills because it is that time. Now, I am doing something a little bit different. I will show you towards the end of this video what I'm going to be doing to keep myself on track from here going forward. I would say probably, really, to be honest with you, I won't be starting it until we're getting some consistent paychecks. But for now, let's go over the monthly budget. And I apologize. My throat is scratchy. I do have allergies. I will be taking sips of this piping hot coffee that I made here in the house. I'm a lefty, so I am going to turn a little bit. So I apologize for that. Also have dog underneath my desk, which I'm sure you can hear her. So, first off, space rent. A lot of people... Sorry about that. I got a phone call. So, space rent. A lot of people are confused on this. I do not have Section 8. I do not have housing help. I just happen to own my mobile home and I pay space rent to a mobile home park. So I own the home, but I don't own the land. So that is due on the 1st. So it would be due on 1st. Okay. And that is going to be $550. Now, it will continue to go up as we live here, 10% every single year. That is the downfall of being a somewhat renter. Okay. And then water, sewage, garbage also due on the 1st. We're going to go ahead and give it a pretty reasonable amount of cash. I am probably going to pay a little extra on this one this time. So last month my water sewage my water sewage was $41.69. We can look into previous months. It was $42. It was $49.80. So I think we're going to go ahead and be generous and give it $60. Now, this is a subsidy because we do pay it based off of an average. I've never actually received a full-on water bill. So, like, I've never received a statement of how much we use, but I know it's based off of everybody's usage in the park. Also, due on the 1st would be garbage. Garbage is $33. Okay. And then electric, we won't actually receive our electric bill until the 5th of the month. But I'm not going to write a due date because I don't know when it will be due because I don't have the bill yet. But we paid $116 last month, and I haven't been using the AC as much as I did last month, but I'm going to go ahead and be nice to myself and say $130. And anything over my electric bill helps me in the wintertime when it tends to be fairly high. Now, we are a part of this weatherization program. If you haven't been watching, we have tons of home improvements coming to our home, as well as having an insulated roof and an insulated underbelly of our home because it's a very old 1966 single wide. It has been completely uninsulated for the last 59 years. So we are hopeful that this brings our electric bill in the winter down quite a bit. Okay. Phones. Our phone bill did go up. I need to take a sip of this. I apologize. I haven't taken my allergy medicine yet, so I am a Flonase and Zyrtec gal. It is the season. So our phone bill did go up to $228. Okay. Our internet, which I do know that this is due on the 28th. Okay. Internet is due on the 22nd. And that is $65. Okay. Car insurance is due on the 26th. Oop. Come on, Amanda. 26th. And that is $228 as well, which is kind of funny, but that is with their little fee that they make us pay. Home insurance is due on the 22nd, and this is $68. Okay. I had thought that this had gone up. Actually, it went down like 38 cents. I misread my bill and I was like, wait a minute. I thought that this was cheap insurance. I mean, home insurance is kind of a gimmick, right? Unless it actually covers something, but I could rant about that all day. I had a situation with, excuse me, go back under there. Thank you. I have a dog trying to come out here, from under my desk, but, my grandmother paid for home insurance for years and years and years and years, and she had a unfortunate event happen on her house, and her home insurance didn't cover it, so she was like, what am I paying for? I also know a lot of people in this mobile home park cannot get home insurance because they haven't done enough upgrades to their home. My home has been upgraded. We no longer have the 1966 heating system. We have a whole new ductless heater, and then we also have upgraded some things in our bathroom that were necessary to get home insurance. So sometimes it's just upgrading the home, so on and so forth. So we are insured. Personal bills / debt. This is when I can pay it. Okay. I have it set to the end of the month, every single month, because I know that sometimes it can take me a whole entire month to get this amount of money, which is $300. This is my minimum payments, which honestly kind of don't really help my situation, but do help my situation. It's not really helping some of the interest rates on my personal bills, but it's keeping the bill appeased. Things like medical, for instance. So unfortunately, one of my medical bills actually did go up due to an increase in the interest rate. Now, none of those bills are technically in collections. And I say technically because it depends on how you view collections. It is not something that's hit my report. So I will say I'm grateful for that. So this keeps them at bay. And then my subscriptions, well, actually, this is my husband's. This is going to be due on the 26th. And we pay for subscriptions for, I can't remember what it's called. Hey, little P, what is the subscription called that you use for your Xbox, bud?
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Okay, so they all use Game Pass. It's cheaper for us to pay a monthly subscription to get a bunch of games than me go ahead and buy them all. So that ends up being $55, and my husband does have Spotify. We are a music family. We like music, and we're metalheads, so we listen to a lot of metal. Okay, and as a matter of fact, there is a concert coming up in August. It's a very, very cheap. We would have to carpool with a friend of ours to get there. But I'm not sure that will actually happen because I haven't wrote it in a budget yet. And I'm not going to put it in this budget yet because I can't foresee. I see that as an extra expense in entertainment. Does that make sense? It's not a need. I mean, I know neither are these two categories down here, and we'll get to that in a minute and I'll explain why. So this is my last credit card. This is due on the 17th. I try to pay it before the 17th because you know what? I like, how should I say this? If you pay before, like the week before your bill is due, it helps boost your credit score. So we're going to go ahead and put $110 to this. My interest rate on this credit card is fairly high. Someone suggested for me to transfer the balance from one credit card to another with 0% interest rate and all the other things. Well, let me tell you, honey, I'm poor. I'm a broke person. I'm broke. I'm not poor in mentality. I am broke in the money. And I make a low income, and I wish I could do something like that, but it's not going to be approved. Even though I have a fairly decent credit score now, after all of the debt I've paid off in the last 10 years, after being homeless, working my way through being in my car to an apartment to living in this mobile home that I own, even though I do have to pay lot rent. I really haven't been getting messed with lately at all because no one's been here. No one in the office has been here. But anyway, I really wasn't getting too much flack anyway because we pay our bills on time. We're clean. We keep our space clean. No one really bothers us. We don't really talk to neighbors all that much. Only the neighbors that are nearing us, and they're also in the same category. There's drama everywhere, okay? But the drama it's been so nice. It's been lifted. Weekly wallets I'm going to leave blank for now. This is going to be due weekly. Okay, next is going to be kids summer. Okay, so I do have one kiddo going to a summer camp at the end of the month. Is it the end of the month? No, it's in August. It's in August. Why am I thinking July? Amanda, come on, get it together, girl. So we have one kid going to a summer camp. This was funded by the school district. I believe he ended up getting a grant. If he hadn't gotten the grant, it would have been a couple of grand. I know. It's not for very long either. But it would have been a couple grand. So, we are going to go ahead and budget $210. I know. That seems like a lot, but we have some things that we're going to be doing. Okay? So I want to make sure to send him with some sort of cash for summer camp. I want to also make sure that we have allotted gas money to do some of the free activities that we want to do. I know it's counteractive, right? Free event, but have to pay to get there. Okay, so there are some events that we will be going to that do have the need for gas, and or a snack or food, or maybe there is something we do have to pay for and I wasn't able to budget for it. If I have anything left over, we'll put it in the pig. We'll put it in this pig, okay? Hamlet here will get the remainder of the cash, okay? So he might be getting some money, honey. Let me tell you, he might be getting some money. Next, we're going to go ahead and budget for the fair. I know you're like, why aren't you budgeting for this concert? Because I don't know exactly if my budget can do more than this in the month of July. It has been slow. It has been very tedious. It has been a whirlwind with all the things going on in this household, between personal stuff and, of course, home repairs and all the different things. I don't want to overextend my budget. Does that make sense? So I know that these are things that I am able... Why did I put them in the wrong spot? Oh, Amanda. $210. I know. Kind of crazy. $100 for the fair. I feel like $100 for the fair is plenty. We had like, I think, $70 last year, and it really worked out very well, but they want to go on more rides, and the rides are expensive. However, it is free to get into this fair, which is really nice. So that is everything. I haven't calculated it out. I honestly have been doing the desk jumble. My husband was very sweet. He did put this together for me after we switched desks out. So it is wonderful that he did that for me. However, I cannot find my calculator to save my life, and apparently because I'm using my phone to record this video, we can't be using the phone calculator unless I borrow his. No, he doesn't. I don't want to borrow his calculator. I will try. You know what? I'm going to use my phone. I'll be back. I'm going to calculate all this out. Alright, you guys. So I calculated it out. All of the basic bills just to survive. This is not including food, fuel, or any other household expenses. That comes with the weekly wallets that we stuff. We do have cash wallets that we will be stuffing. I'm actually trying to get some Moterm leather wallets. They're much smaller, and they're actual wallets. They're the A7 size Moterm wallets, but they are kind of spendy. But because they are genuine leather, they won't fall apart like the other ones that I have purchased in the past. I used to have a little dinky yellow one with flowers on it, and it like totally fell apart. So I need to figure out how to do that, so that way we can, you know what, we'll just add it in here. Wallets. A7 Moterm. They're on Amazon. They are, I believe, $55 a piece. So that'd be $110. I know, I probably shouldn't. So plus 110 for wallets. Okay, so our total bills are 100, or oh my goodness, Amanda, come on girl. Ain't nobody pay bills that low. So $1,827. It is actually like 5 in the morning. I'm trying to do this before they come back and do the bathroom. Hopefully do the bathroom. Leaky pipe, not sure. So $1,827 is our monthly. We don't know what our weekly expenses will be because of the fact that everything is variable when it comes to that. We do go to a food pantry. We do not get food stamps. So I do need to budget weekly for expenses. Okay. The fair, we already talked about that. Kids Summer, we talked about that. I just added the wallets in. I almost need the wallets more than I need to go to this concert, to be really honest with you, because I really need to get on better track of my finances. I need to start tracking this weekly wallet stuff. That is a goal of mine. I really, really, really need to start tracking it better because I don't want to be overspending in categories that I could be underspending, because it's the whole point of making a budget. Okay. So all in all, our total expenses, not including the variable weekly, because I don't know what that'll look like. I really don't. So just to survive the month with these little extra things, I mean, technically this could go, if I didn't really have the money for it, would be a total of $2,247. Okay, so that is our total budget, what we have listed here. Now, obviously, like I said, we'll have to add in food, fuel, household stuff, all the things. Which brings me to the end of this video. I need to show you guys something I've been working on. Now, I'm still playing with numbers, so please be nice to me. I'm still playing with numbers, and this is based off of both my husband, myself working full-time at jobs with any additional money that we have coming in from our side hustles. So let me show you what I've been working on. I will be back. Alright, you guys, I'm sure you can hear the sound of the printer. I also officially got Violet from under my desk. She does have a dog bed down here now, but I have to say, I printed this on the back of something else because I'm running out of paper as well. So I probably, let's be nice. Let's add paper. Paper for printer, and I go to Walmart and I'm gonna probably spend about $6. So plus $6. I forgot about that. Yeah. So that's on there. But let's get to the thing, okay? So this, and I will zoom it in a little bit. Sorry, don't mean to make you sick. This is the weekly wallet sheet that I have been working on. Now, this came as an inspiration from Miss Lady Di Saves. I will say, if you need to go watch anybody cash stuff their weekly expenses, because she is a housewife who is taking care of all of their children. Her husband gave her a specific budget to be able to use to cash stuff her wallet, and then anything she can save, she saves. And the amount of money she has saved since she started her channel on a lower income, lower budget, absolutely freaking amazing. Lady Di, if you watch this, girl, I appreciate you because you inspired me to get back on the wallet train. Okay? So let's talk about all of this. Okay? This is really important because somebody's going to ask me how I came up with the numbers and all the different things. Okay? So, this is each of our wallets. You guys know we have been using, now these aren't terrible. They're just really hard to put in a purse, or for Jordan. You have a hard time with the size of this, Jordan? You have to put this in your car, huh? Or something like that. It's not, this is a regular, this is a regular A6 size binder, so he's been using this one particularly. I think we actually took the money out of this for fuel, so we're kind of on the last of it, but this is what he was using, but it's just too big. So the A7 is about, taking a quarter of this off, so that helps quite a bit. Not only that, but they're just easier to pack around. This is kind of like everybody knows about it. When I pull this out or mine out at the store, people notice it. I find that to be a little bit alarming. But we are going to go over this whole sheet. Obviously, I'm still playing with numbers because, you gotta do what works for you and your budget, and you have to be realistic at the same time. So, groceries. We pay for groceries. I've been technically utilizing $100 a week lately, and you guys have seen that, but some of it is on unnecessary things, and I can always go to a food pantry if needed. And I do go to the giveaways where at the end of the month, beginning and the end of the month, they're going to throw it all away anyway because it's expired food. Food pantries usually give out expired food anyway, but this is really expired to the point where it either needs to be frozen, it needs to be consumed, or it needs to be something you eat same day. Okay? So, we don't have food stamps, especially when it comes to two full-time low-wage earning people. They won't qualify for food stamps in the state of Oregon. I do know that if you're a non-working person in the state of Oregon, it used to be $189. So like homeless folks could get $189. The things I hear coming and going, specifically from people in our community, is they dropped it down to like $128 a person for any adults. Okay. Not sure if that's 100% true, but Google tells me so many things. I almost really hate Googling things now. But anyway, so we are going to budget $75 a week. That has to be doable because I'm a low income person. My husband's a low income person. This has to work. So this for sure. And since this is kind of a mock-up, we need to highlight this to stay. So that has to stay the way it is. Fuel money, both of us drive. However, we are down to one car, but it doesn't mean that technically we're driving any less. So I'll get $35. Technically, I can walk to my new job. I don't have to actually drive. I am personally looking for a bike. I want a bike. So that way he can drive the car to work because he's going to be going a much farther distance than I am. Okay? Not only that, but I've also applied for a second job serving. I'm not sure I'm going to get it. It is at another restaurant. It would be an evening job, maybe a couple days a week, especially since DoorDash and all the things have been really slow. So household expenses, things like soap, things like shampoo and conditioner, toothpaste, toilet paper, paper towels, all the things. This has worked for me in the past, so this can stay. $15 a week. So essentially what I do is I calculate everything out as a whole, and then I divide it by the weeks. This doesn't always work for everything, and we're going to get to that in pet supplies. So pet supplies have been costing me about $110 a month. Now, I don't have to buy wet food. I don't have to buy treats. I do sometimes do that. However, I can make it off of $20 a week for pets. Kids spending, this is something that I'm not sure. I would play around with this a little bit more. I have 2 boys. They're 10 and 14. They always ask me, "You got $50? Specifically my oldest. "You got $50? It's only $55, Mom. It's only $65, Mom." Mostly for gaming, snacks, stuff like that. So I feel like they need money because they can't have jobs, right? They're 10 and 14. I want to budget a proper amount of money, but not too much, because I want this to build up over the month. Okay. Entertainment is going to get $5. I was wondering whether I should veto this or not, but my family really wants this to be a thing. Okay, thrifting. I do not know if I am going to need this or not. I do like going to the thrift store. This is a want. This is not a need. But, you know, I live so unbelievably frugally. We don't go anywhere. We don't travel. We don't go on vacation. I cannot tell you the last time I bought brand new clothes. I mean, it's been a really long time. Really long time. I don't buy shoes. I don't buy socks very often. We do not dine out. We don't dine out, mostly because of the fact that my husband is gluten-free. Not by choice, by necessary need. And we don't really necessarily have the ability to go out and eat like other folks do. Sauces have gluten in them. You don't know if they're going to cross-contaminate, so we just don't dine out. It doesn't really happen very often. It's happened more in the last few days than it has in a really long time, and that's only because they turned the power off to do the repairs in the home. Okay? Hobbies. I have hobbies. I know, and this is one of them. YouTube is technically a hobby for me. Okay? However, I want to be able to spend money on hobbies, but if I have to veto this away, I will. Okay? But I do want to try. Personal stuff. This is for spending, for personal whatever. This stays. So this will stay. Okay? These are on the fence. And they could change. Numbers can change. Oh no, also known as oh shit. This has to stay. This is a mandatory now. And anything with a dot will get rolled over. So if I have $10 left from groceries, that will go into savings. It can go into doing savings challenges. It could go into whatever I need it to go into. Same with fuel. Because these are forever expenses that are going to be rolling over. Some of these things need to build up. Okay? If my kids want to do something and I give them $15 a week and they allow that envelope to fill up over time, they'll be able to do that thing. Same with entertainment, thrifting, hobbies, all those things. Okay? I also will not take away some of these things for my husband. He is a income earner in this household. He will continue to get soda money. Something he said he's going to spend money on anyway, so we might as well budget for it. Okay? That is enough. That is enough. Okay? However, soda prices did go up to $1.49 and not 99 cents. And if you get an extra large one, it's like $2.80 or something like that. But snacks, I did up this because he is gluten-free. I have to think of the fact that those things are very expensive, and he could likely go eat tacos somewhere if he needed to, or like, you know, I mean, you don't think about things like if you're on the road and you needed it, you know, and you don't have the money. I was just talking to a friend about this. You could be completely SOL on the road. Like when his tire went flat, I had to walk. I was waiting 2.5, 3 hours for a tow. Okay? So that time that something happens, also known as this, oh no, is part of it. But you want to be able to get something to eat. No one likes to be walking around penniless, unable to get something to eat if you absolutely needed to. And he likes to pay for his own snacks. Okay? Hobbies. His hobbies are a little higher than mine because I mostly do audiobooks. I do Dollar Tree crafty stuff. I do tons and tons of cheapo stuff to keep myself entertained. Okay? His hobbies tend to be a little bit more, and that's okay. $10 is not going to make or break. So this may or may not change. I'm not sure. Could go down to 15. Not really sure. Okay? Date night, this stays. He said that this has to be a thing. Date night for us would be going to the movies, going bowling. It may go to something that we want to do. Okay? We have to get away. Things get really stressful. Even though we're on a low income, we need to be able to feed and water this relationship. Okay? Family. This one is hit or miss. This could either stay or go. This is just any money that he needs to do family stuff or take the kids out, do whatever. Personal, this one stays. Okay. And oh no stays. So our total, if we were to keep it this way, which likely will change, let's be real, is $322 a week. I know that's a lot, but this is a reality. This is honest budgeting. This is real budgeting. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to shine a turd. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is glorious and beautiful and I like the numbers, because I don't. But I have a family. I have kids. I have to be realistic with myself. But as always, you can only do what you can with what you got because it's all you have to work with. I'm excited. We at least have our meat and potatoes done for the month of July. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Oh, hey, if you're working on a project, let me know what it is, if it's budgeting related or not, and I will respond to you in the comments. If you made it this far, leave me a hashtag budgeting. Bye, guys. Oh, hey, I wanted to mention something really fast. I am going to start possibly doing my own nails. Hashtag nails in the comments down below. I have done them in the past before, but let me tell you, I work a lot with my hands and I don't want to mess them up. I feel bad when I mess them up within like the day I put them on. So, bye guys.